5 today, and you have survived 5 days, or rather, I have survived 5 days. Okay. Okay, everybody. So today we're going to do something really special. And the reason why we're doing it on a Saturday is because then on Sunday, right? Sunday is the day when you have your family along with you, when there are people in the house. Then it would be really, really great to be able to serve this. And this is my apple cinnamon oven baked French toast. Okay, so it's a tweak on French toast because it's actually a casserole. I've changed it a little, right? And this is actually good because it is little pieces that I have cut them into. I'll show you everything. And it is really good when you have a large number of people, or for good weekends, or even it's a very festival kind of thing. So for Christmas, for Easter, these are the kind of gatherings that you would use this kind of a recipe, especially for more numbers of people, when you have more people. Okay, and the beautiful part about it, of course, is that it is one of those recipes which you can actually do way ahead of time. All right, you do it ahead, and that really means something today because it's Sahur, right? So when it is, you don't have much time, you're pressed for time, then this becomes very, very useful. All right, because you can do it the day before, and there's only 1 or 2 steps that you need to do in the morning before you bake it. All right, you do need to bake it on the day itself, but I'm going to show you that. In fact, since this is live, it would have been difficult to show you what happens on the day itself, but I have already baked one halfway ahead to show you the last steps first. Okay, so I hope you'll understand what I'm saying, that these are the last steps on the day itself, and after this, then I will go back to what you need to do the night before. Okay, hope that's clear on my part. And so, first of all, then let me show you what I did last night. And I have come to the stage where we have baked it for 20 minutes. You normally bake it for 20 minutes first with the foil on, and then you take off the foil. So this is what it looks like after we have baked it for 20 minutes. Okay, can you see that? Yep. Looks great actually, but it's going to look even better because the second half is that you will now put on the last toppings, okay, which I'm going to show you right now. And then we are going to put it back in the oven so that by the time we finish the preparation for the day before, this will also be ready and you can actually see what it will look like. All right, so what I'm doing now is the topping, the last topping before you put it back the second time around into the oven for another 15 minutes or so. All right, this is a small one. Okay, so because of that, we're going to put it for less time. All right, so let me show you what we are going to do. So the last topping is to put on the unsalted butter, and I have it under here. So you have unsalted butter. Put this away first, right? Yes, unsalted butter, you can see that. And then we have a 1/4 cup of sugar. Now I am using here flour sugar, coconut sugar. Okay, coconut sugar has got a lower glycemic index than brown sugar. This is what it looks like. You can see it for yourself. And it's available on Shopee and Lazada and all these places. You can see it for yourself. Okay, there. Okay, Right, I'm showing it on Instagram too. So this is called coconut sugar. Coconut sugar, I told you, is used normally in health foods. You can find it in health food stores because it has got a much lower glycemic index. Okay, so we are putting the sugar on, and we are going to put some cinnamon. How much cinnamon? About a tablespoon of cinnamon should be enough. You know, the most beautiful thing about this whole casserole is the fact of the smells that come out in the morning when you are actually baking it and everything. It is just superb. Okay, so I'm going to just try and make this into a crumble. The butter is hard. You can't have it too softer. So it's much better to have it a little bit harder. I think this is for this, this particular casserole is a bit smaller, right? So we can't put too much also. So give me a minute. Let me just get this. We want these little big kind of pieces that are going to open up a little bit. Yeah, hold on. Maybe we should have made the butter a little bit softer, but I just don't want it too soft, then it becomes like a big mush. Okay, I'm going to use my hand to do this. Okay, so here we have the baked one, and we are going to put it on top. I'm just going to take out pieces. The butter will nicely, and you have a beautiful burnt top, which is what we want. Ah. Okay. We won't use the whole thing then, because otherwise it may burn a bit too much. All right. Okay. Can we put it in the oven now? Okay, I'm going to put it in the oven now. You can see how it looks like. Everybody can see it. Give me a minute. And Tariq, get me a paper towel as well. Okay. Yeah. It's in the kitchen down there. Okay, everybody. So that's the last part of putting it in. Okay, which I'm showing you at first, simply because then we can see that later as well. It's almost going to be like you're going to be here with me when we take it out of the oven. Okay. All right. So now let's get back to making the French toast proper. All right. So the first thing that you need to do, you know what French toast is, right? French toast is a beautiful preparation of eggs and milk. and eggs, milk, and butter. Sorry, what am I saying? Eggs and milk together makes a beautiful custard. Thank you. It makes a beautiful custard, and we a very healthy one as well, because the eggs that we are using today are called kodawari eggs. So I've done a bit of a variation now. The bread that I'm using, you can use any sort of nice soft white bread, but today I am using brioche. Okay, so this is brioche bread which has been baked 2 days ago. What makes the French toast more successful is if you have stale bread. So either you keep the bread 2 or 3 days, all right, because then it makes it more absorbent as well, or you can actually dry it out a little in the oven. And it's always the brioche that is quite nice. So what I'm going to do now is cut it up into small pieces. Now I've already done that. So these are the pieces that have already been cut. Can you see that? Yes. All right. But I'm going to show you how to cut them as well, just so that you can see how exactly it's done. Okay. Now, I'm using a bread knife to do this so that it's easier. And you see it cuts quite easily. Okay, so now with that, I am also going to cut it up this way, not too small. All right, we want little cubes, not little cubes, medium sized cubes. Okay, this bread is really good for this because it will soak up all the liquid very well. Timer went on, right? Okay, great. We put the timer now for 15 minutes for the existing uh, toast to go in. The casserole, I mean, sorry. There are many breads that you can use actually. I've seen people just using normal white bread as well. All right. So it's really up to you, and you can really just make it work for whatever you have down there. It's fine. Now, if the bread is too much, you can then keep some and do a smaller version of it. I do that for myself for a single version as well. This one is a bit big. Yeah, so I think that the plates that we are using, and I am using the My Cooking Story cookware for this. Okay, so this is the bowl, the casserole that we are going to be using. I have already greased it properly, right, with butter. So we're going to be putting as much of the bread as we can. There we go. We'll put in this one first. I already cut most of it as well. Let's see how much we can fit in, okay? We lay it out first. See, because once you know how much bread you have, then you'll also know how much liquid you need. Okay, so that's important. Okay, we managed to fit all of this in. You know why? Because the bread, when it soaks also, it will actually take up less space also. So you'll get more space. All right, so this is how it's going to look now. Now we're going to put in the milk and egg mixture. Okay, so let's put that aside. Okay, so I'm going to use one of my cooking stories bowls as well to make the um, egg and milk custard right now. Okay, so we are going to be using how much I think we'll need is about 5 eggs. Okay, which is what I'm going to do now. I'm going to be breaking 5 eggs into the container here to whisk up. My whisk is here. Okay. All right. Now, where is my fork? Here we are. Okay. You can see that, right? Now, these are actually eggs from the fridge. I'm using my Kodawari eggs. They're really good eggs. You can see the yolk. Look at that. That's a perfect yolk. These eggs are very, very high in astaxanthin. Yep. There we go. Okay. Now we need to put more eggs, right? Because we want to get that creamy texture. All right. So what's the next thing that we go? We have 5 eggs, 1 teaspoon of nutmeg. Now the nutmeg is here. Smells lovely. A teaspoon. Nutmeg is strong, so don't put too much. Okay. The next thing is 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract. Now this is vanilla extract. This is vanilla extract. Now vanilla extract is different from vanilla essence. The extract is much more concentrated and it is much more healthy. So that's why nowadays we don't use essence. Essence again has always got fillers in it. So 1 teaspoon, another teaspoon here. Okay, that's enough. Next, we are going to put 1 tablespoon of cinnamon. Again, it is quite a lot of cinnamon because cinnamon is a predominant feature in French toast. Incidentally, I don't know whether you guys know, but did you know that cinnamon actually helps you to lose weight? It does. It's one of the spices that actually helps you to lose a lot of weight. Now, 2 tablespoons of maple syrup. So maple syrup is always the preferred sweetener nowadays because again, it has a much lower glycemic index. Okay, and of course, we like to use the maple syrup that comes from Canada, of course, right? The pure, real maple syrup. Salt to taste. So we need a little bit of salt. And of course, the milk. Now, today, the milk that I'm using is almond milk. All right. Now, this almond milk is milk that I make myself. And the recipe for almond milk is on the site, on my profile page, which I remember I posted 2-3 days ago, telling everybody that please make sure that you do this recipe so that you know how to make almond milk, which is going to be used in a lot of my recipes. Okay, so how much of almond milk we need about 1 cup, I think, of whole milk. Now if you don't use almond milk, here, the cup is here. If you don't use almond milk, then you can use your normal fresh milks. Okay, that's your 1 cup of almond milk. I prefer to use plant-based milks because I don't use any cow's milk at all. All right, so now I'm going to mix that all together. One thing about the Kodawari eggs, they are very firm. Now there's a lot of variations that you can put into this. I think we're going to put a little bit more milk. We'll finish up this. Okay, because I look at the bread and I think it needs a bit more. So there are two ways that you can do this, okay? My way normally is to just bring all the bread here and dunk it in, because I think that really is the fastest and the easiest, but it may not be the most elegant way, right? Okay, so we can also do it this way. So we're going to pour the milk over. Tariq, did you check whether it's okay? But you can leave it in the oven, I think. It's not too dark, right? That is why you need to leave this overnight, because it will actually soak up some more as well. That's just nice. So let me just move it a little bit here and there. There is a lot of liquid here, so just needs to be coaxed. Make sure that each and every piece of bread is coated, yeah, because that's when you have this delicious goodness. Now, you don't have to put too much of maple syrup, and don't worry about that, because you can always, after you have baked it, you can bring it out and actually put more maple syrup on it just before you serve. Okay, so this looks good now. So this is the time when you have to keep it for at least 3 to 4 hours, okay, to let the bread properly soak up everything. See, the ones that are dry, put them back in the liquid, which is at the bottom. Okay, that looks good. Now, the other thing that I am going to do, which is really a variation, is that I like to put apple. Now, why do I put apple? Because it gives me that apple cinnamon kind of combination, which I really love that. And so this is the way that I put the apples so that they will cook properly. All right, if you can see that, what I have in here is a scraper, and I am just going to scrape them really thinly. Can you see that? Okay, and there's no real way to see how to do this. I'm going to show you this, how to do that here. Can you see this? Okay, so this is the way we scrape the apple, just very thinly, so that you get pieces like this. Okay, I have already done that now. So the ones that I have here, I am going to use. So you just sort of put them in between the slices. Now, the added advantage of making French toast this way is, of course, the fact that, if you do a normal French toast, right, what do? You're frying it in oil. Each piece gets fried, of bread gets fried in oil. Now, I'm really not happy about that. And this way, you actually eliminate the need to use any oil here. So the apple part is optional, okay? If you don't want to have that, that's fine. Don't have it. But I just like it because I think it also gives that added apple a day keeps the doctor away, right? So I like that. And I like the idea of apple and cinnamon. My favorite combination. Okay, not too much, okay? Okay. This is the skin. Why? Sorry. Okay, all right. So now, after this, I am also going to put some nuts, pecans. Now, of course, if you have people who are allergic to nuts, you can leave that step out. But I like to put a bit of raisins and apricots. They are super. If we put everything that we are supposed to put, yes, nutmeg, we put the cinnamon, we put the sugar, yes, and we put the milk. And I'm also going to put some pecans. Okay. I just love the smell of nuts and fruits like these. Okay, so you cut the pecans roughly and you leave them on. So this is all the steps. Where is it? Where is it? You can bring it here. So this is all the steps for before you bake, right? What you have to do the night before. So after this, all you have to do is to put on the foil. Ooh, okay. The gloves. Okay, so this is what goes into the fridge, and then you have to do the same step. So in the morning, when you get up, you'll see that the eggs are much more wetter. And the first thing that you can do, no oil, no need anything, you just put it into the hot oven, about 190 degrees or 200 degrees centigrade. Okay, put it in the oven for 20 minutes, and then you take it out of the oven and you do the last step. And after you do the last step, this is what you will see for another 10 to 15 minutes. Okay, you see, so that looks lovely. And I'm going to actually put a little bit on a plate to plate it so that we can see how it looks with a little bit of for a single serving. Okay, give me a minute. All right, Tariq, can you see a plate down there? See whether you can find one. So anybody, hi. Oh, there's Elaine is here. Hi. She says hi, Geeta. Hi, Elaine. Thank you for coming on. I'm not seeing that many messages today. That's fine. Yes, thank you. Okay, that will be put in the fridge. So now we are going to, it's a bit hot. Hold on. Would have been nice with a bit of fruits, right? I completely forgot about that. Okay, so let's, the top is nice and crunchy. Oh, that's beautiful. Can you see that? Very nice. The inside is soft. So we can put a little bit more of maple syrup, and I'm going to put a few pecans as well on the top, since I forgot to put that. All right, where's the maple syrup? Okay. So here we go, our beautiful casserole French toast. Doesn't it look great? Yummy. The cinnamon, the smell of the cinnamon is just gorgeous. So that's our offering for today. And I hope you actually try this out. And if you're doing that, please, please, please send me a photo or a video of that. And also, all the cookware that I've used in today is from my cooking story. So if you like anything, do go to the My Cooking Story website and purchase whatever you want. Use my code MCS Geeta and you will get a further 10% discount. Okay? Thank you everybody for today. And tomorrow is Sunday. We will have another recipe for you, and that is probably, I think, mee siam. Okay? Anyway, I will tell you about it on my page in the morning. Bye everybody. Love you and have a good buka puasa today.